Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Vlogmas. My name is Sarah. This channel is where I share all about my crafty projects. It's mostly knitting. Today I have a little bit of spinning to share with you as well, but I do like to dabble in all the other fiber crafts. And I'm coming to you from Columbus, Ohio, where I live with my partner Troy and our cats Alex, Moo, and Elsie, who've been appearing in all the vlogs. Yeah, this is the big one. This is the Christmas Eve, Christmas Day episode. I am gonna do one more episode after Christmas just to kind of put a bow on it, if you will, kind of wrap up this year's Vlogmas, but I can't believe it's almost over. It's bittersweet. Like, it is a lot to do Vlogmas. I'm glad I don't do it every day. I don't honestly know how people do it every day. Kudos to everyone that's doing that, to film and edit every single day. It's so much work, but I really enjoy doing this format of like every couple of days, but it's still a lot of work, but it's also so much fun, and I'm really sad that it's coming to an end. So like I said, very bittersweet. I will be looking forward to those days between Christmas and New Year where I can just like be a complete couch potato with nothing to do. But I am here to do a knitting check-in. It is, what day is it? It's Tuesday, December 23rd. It took me a second. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. Insane. And it is about 4 p.m. So I have had a busy morning. I've been doing lots of crafting, lots of just like little bits and bobs around the house, getting last minute things ready to go, doing laundry. I've been making sourdough today, which you will have seen some clips of. It's not finished yet. I just put it in the Banneton basket for its final like room temperature proof. And then it'll be going in the fridge overnight, and I will probably bake it tomorrow morning because I'm not going to be able to do it on Christmas Day, and I don't want to wait till the following day. So yeah, I'll probably bake it tomorrow morning. But yeah, I started off the morning with a little sweater surgery, which you might have seen. This is my sweater by November Knits. It is a really cute design. It's got big wide sleeves. It's got, I'm not gonna stand up, but it's got like a huge split hem. I really love the design. I knit this last year, I think. The yarn is Durerum Natura's Gilliatt in the color Cacao, and I'm about to be casting on a new sweater with this yarn on New Year's Day. So this morning I got up and I thought, oh, I haven't worn that in a while. Why don't I throw that one on today just to be cozy around the house? And I put it on and I instantly remembered why I haven't been wearing it. And it was because I did not like the neckline. And I had actually already changed it once. So in the pattern, it's written to have a double folded 2x2 rib collar. And I think it looked really good, but knit in this super lightweight woolen yarn. Well, this is a worsted weight yarn, but it weighs like nothing. It's very airy and light. That color just was constantly riding up, and I can't stand it when anything like touches like the front of my neck. Like, I just can't, I don't like that. So I had already once before taken out the double folded collar and shortened the ribbing. So when I put it on this morning, it still had a 2x2 rib collar, but it was maybe like 1.5 inches or 1.25 inches, and it was still really bothering me. So I just was like, I need to fix this or I'm never gonna wear this sweater anymore. So I ripped out the collar. I basically picked up where the collar was and I just knit 1 inch of stockinette, and I'm letting it have a little rolled hem, which will lay a little bit nicer once I block this or wash it again. But now I really am happy with it. But yeah, I was like, third time's the charm on this one, I guess. So yeah, you can see it just has like this little rolled collar now. And I don't think it suits the design as well, just because there's so much 2x2 ribbing on this. The whole bottoms are, the split hem pieces are 2x2 ribbing, but it is comfortable and I'll be able to wear it now. And I love this yarn and this color so much, I want to be able to wear it. So yeah, I did a little impromptu sweater surgery this morning. And then I've just been knitting away, watching some Vlogmas. And yeah, let's talk Adventy things. So since it's the first day in a new episode, I'll give a little explainer about all the Advents. But if you've watched the whole Vlogmas, sorry if you've heard me reiterate this stuff 100 times at this point, but you never know when someone new is gonna stop in. And if you are new, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. And for those of you that have watched all of Vlogmas, thank you so much. It's been really fun. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'm happy to have you here as well. So let's start first with my lip balm advent. My friend Austin has a company called Angel Balms. He makes lip balms, he designs original characters, he makes like all kinds of fun products. But this year he did a lip balm advent. It was 12 days. So we only have one more day to go after this. And today we have a sugar cookie, which, knowing Austin, this is his signature flavor. He is also like I don't know if he would say junk food or snacking foods, like aficionado. Like he knows every like specialty snack food that's out there, and sugar cookie flavored things are his favorite. So I know that this is probably one of his favorites. Here is the really pretty original character. She's an angel. Beautiful. It smells very good. So that's awesome. I also exchanged scrappy yarn advents with my friend Jess this year, and we will use these advents in January to knit scrappy sweaters together. So today's color from her was this really pretty warm brown. The color is looking brighter on screen because I'm having to use artificial lighting. It's only 4 p.m., but it is dark. It has been gray and gloomy and gross kind of all day today. And we're definitely not gonna have a white Christmas here. We're gonna have a warm and rainy Christmas. It's gonna be like 50 degrees and rainy, so that's not ideal. But Jess says that this is Red Door Fiber Studio Star Drop Saloon. It's an 80-20 blend. Really pretty. And also included in there today was a little package of dark chocolate covered pretzels. She's been including a lot of little gifts in hers, which was so nice. My other advent, yarny advent, is the Fiber Fox Faded Advent this year, which was kind of like cottagecore, wildflower inspired. All the colors are named after wildflowers. And today, the day 23 color was this. So again, just showing you out of context of the fade, they probably all look the same, but this one's definitely leaning a little bit more yellow. And probably tomorrow I'll show you, like, I have the whole fade together in a box. I'll probably show you like the whole thing. But yeah, I am ready to start with today's color. I just finished catching up. So if you saw the last episode, you will have heard me talk about how I got really behind on my project, and I'll show you the project in a minute, but that is today's color. Socks. So I'm a huge sock knitter. I love knitting socks. Throughout the year, I knit a bunch of socks for myself and others, but the ones that I knit for myself all year, I just kind of squirrel them away in a box. And then throughout the month of December, I gift them to myself. So today is the second to last pair, and I'm giving them to myself in the order I knit them in. So we're getting to the ones that I knit more recently, and here they are. So this is a really fun pair of stripy socks, and I actually knit these using all the leftovers from my Advent project last year. So last year I knit the Daft Days cardigan by Rebecca Clow in these super fun, colorful, striped mini colors. And my main color for that cardigan was actually closer to this. It was kind of like a light pinky purple. And I was able to use up all the remnants from my mini skeins to make these really fun striped socks. So the base color is Ritual Dye's Maiden base in the color Sagittarius, which I love as a Sagittarius, of course. So that was not from last year's Advent. And then the heel color, I just ran out of the dark purple, so I had to pop a different color in there for the heel. And I actually ran out of it on this toe. You might be able to see that the very end of this toe is a slightly different color, but I don't really think you can tell. So yeah, I was able to use up my leftovers from last year's Advent, and I'm hoping to use up the leftovers from this year's Advent to knit socks as well. So tune in for my regularly scheduled podcast episodes next year if you want to see that. All right, exciting update. My Advent spin that I was working on this month, which was a 3-ply combo spin. I was spinning like half an ounce a day. I finished it a couple of days ago. All the fibers were from Oink Pigments. They were a couple limited edition colors, and then one which was their Wool Gathering exclusive colorway from this year, which the Wool Gathering is like a smaller fiber festival in Ohio. I plied it up the other day. I blocked it, or I'm not sure what you call it. Or you set the twist. Is it still blocking if it's spinning? I'm not exactly sure about the verbiage there. But it is all dry, so this morning I got it caked up. And I am ready to cast this on tomorrow as a jaunty shawl, which I'm very excited about. I did realize I'm not gonna have as much knitting time as I hope tomorrow, because normally on Christmas Eve, we do our family dinner get together around like 6 p.m. But this year we're doing it at 3 because my grandparents, as they're getting a little older, they're having a harder time like being out after it's dark. So we're getting together at 3, which means we're gonna be leaving our house at like 2:30. So I'm probably not gonna have as much knitting time in the morning, but I think I'm gonna bring this with me to Christmas Eve just in case we end up watching a movie or having some downtime. And yeah, I'm so happy with how this spin turned out. I think it feels Christmassy without being like in your face red and green. There are, and I wonder if you can see there are some like tiny hits of green. One of the, I'm trying to find a better representation. They're pretty small though, they're very subtle. One of the fibers had a little bit of green in it. So you can see like right here, every once in a while you just get a little bit of green. So I'm hoping that'll come through as just like little green speckles here and there. Yeah, and I can't wait to see how it knits up. I'm really, really excited to cast this on. And just a little tip for, you know, obviously these are the same and I want to make sure I'm knitting the right ends together. Like I want to make sure I'm starting with the first one and then continuing into the second one. So when I'm scanning these up, I basically have one end that is like the 0 end, and then the other end of this one, I tie a single knot right here. So that's like 1, and then when at the start, the corresponding start of the next skein, I have tied a single knot. So I know that those ends match up. So you can see what I mean, like the end of this skein matches up with the beginning of the second skein. So the color flow will be seamless. And then at the outside of the skein, I have 2 knots. So if you had lots of different balls, you could go as far as you needed to through 3, 4, 5 knots. So that's how I've been kind of managing, making sure I'm starting with the right one and then flowing into the next one in the correct color order. Really excited to cast that on tomorrow morning. I have been working on my Advent sock. We only have one day left, one stripe left, and I'm sad for these to be over. I've enjoyed them so much. I have been having you all vote every day for what color I'm going to use. So in the past, I've done different dyers, skeins of like self-striping yarn for Advent, and I've really enjoyed that. But this year I wanted to try something different. So I picked 20 different Christmassy-ish colors from my stash, just scraps that I had. I assigned a number to all of them, 1 through 20. And then every day I've used a random number generator to pick 3 color options. And then you all have been voting on them on Instagram stories, which has been so fun. So these socks are really a collaborative effort between me and you, and that makes them really special. Hopefully you've had a chance to vote if you wanted to. And I am planning to do it again next year. So if you missed out this year, there's always going to be next year. Here's where we're at. I did go ahead and get the heel added in for both, which really makes it look like a sock. It's all coming to life now, and just really makes it pop. So today we added this really fun bright pink, which is one of my favorite colors in here. I'm glad we got to use that one again. So yeah, here's where we're at. They're looking like socks. I think they're so fun. You all have done an amazing job choosing the colors. And today, these are the final 3 colors we're choosing between. And I really thought it was going to be the red, like no brainer, but that is the least popular choice. So right now the green is winning. So we'd go to green, which will be very pretty. They've definitely ended up a little more green heavy, but I kind of love it. Or the red, which would have been my choice if I was just choosing on my own. Or the gray, which is also a really nice soft way to end. So yeah, we'll see. And that's been something that, you know, has been kind of fun about this is like, it takes the decision making out of my hands, which is really nice when I have so many projects on the go at once, but it like lets me see a combination that I wouldn't have necessarily chosen for myself, but I still love how they're turning out. So I don't know, it's just been really fun to, like I said, collaborate with you guys on this. And I think next year I might do more of a like wintry cools blues palette or something like that, but excited to do it again next year. Okay, let's talk the Wildflower pullover because I have been working on this a lot today. Like a lot. I've put a lot of rows in on it. I got 3 days behind at one point, and this is what I'm using the Fiber Fox Fade for. So I've been working really hard the past couple of days to catch up, and as of right now, I am caught up to today. But what I did not anticipate, you know, let me just show it first and then I can explain. So I am knitting the Wildflower pullover by Andrea Gahn. This is an all over colorwork fingering weight sweater, and here it is. So it is definitely getting sweater size now. What you're seeing here is, this is the front. This is the steek for the neck opening. So I don't think you've seen this since I added that. But yeah, you can see this gorgeous fade. So we started with yellow, it's bottom up. We started with yellow, then we kind of faded into like chartreuse and green, into blue and a periwinkle, pink, and now we are going into these peachy yellows. And now you can hopefully see that this is quite a bit more yellow than the kind of pinky colors that we've had before. So the end of the body is near. My goal was to finish the body during Vlogmas, and we're so close. And every day I've been putting 6 rows in. So 6 rows is exactly half of one of these striped flower motifs. And I was just carrying along at that pace, and what I didn't realize until I finally read ahead in the pattern was that just doing 6 rows a day wasn't going to be enough to finish the front and back of the body. The front pieces are longer, they go back farther and they'll have more color. So the last few colors, so the one yesterday, today, and tomorrow, I'm having to do about twice as much as I was before. So I'm having to do like 13 rows, I think, of each color to make it to the end, which is okay because those are just going to be the pieces that are kind of like curving back over the shoulder. But the end is in sight. But I really want to try and get as much of it done tonight as I can because, again, I don't know how much knitting time I'm going to have tomorrow. So I have just finished the neckline decreases. So we cast off, well, we put some stitches on hold here for the bottom of the neckline. So that'll be like this part, although it comes down much lower. And then we did some decreases. So you can see this is leaning in. We were eating up some stitches here, and that would be shaping like this piece. Now I have to knit a couple more rows straight. So that's going to be like this part. And then I have to add a second steek that's going to, I think at that point we'll put the back on hold. And this is the back right now. It's just flat. There's no opening yet. So you can really see the fade nicely on the back. So we'll put the backs on hold, and then we're gonna add another steek for the front. So the front is gonna be joined into a tube at one point. We're gonna add a second steek for the front, and then we're gonna knit more for the front. And then we're going to have a few rows that are knit flat, and that is for the like shoulder shaping. And then it has to be seamed. So can I finish the body before Christmas? I think that I can, but there's a lot of work left to do still. I had thought at one point, oh, maybe I'll get the collar added. I don't think I'm gonna get the collar added, but never say never. I am totally loving this project. I cannot wait to reinforce these steeks and cut them open. I am going to be doing a sewn machine reinforcement because this is superwash yarn and it's not going to stick to itself the way that a woolly not superwash yarn would. So I want to make sure that those steeks are nice and secure, and they're really small too. It's only 5 stitches in fingering weight yarn. So I'm definitely going to be going over them 1 or 2 times with the sewing machine before I cut anything open, but I'm so excited. I love how it looks. Okay, a couple more little things. I have worked a little bit on my self-striping socks. So as a reminder, I'm knitting this really fun pair of vanilla self-striping socks. I'm knitting them cuff down with a 2x2 cuff, an afterthought heel, really simple, basic. This really fun yarn is from Handspun Handmade. It is their shiny sock base, 80% superwash merino, 20% stellina. and it is 400 yards, so it's a little bit thicker for a sock yarn. The color is called Gingerbread House, and I also got this at the Wool Gathering this year, and I love it because it's so sparkly, but I also love the colors. So obviously I finished the first one a few days ago, and I have been timing myself on these just to see, out of curiosity, how long it takes me to knit a pair of vanilla socks. People genuinely ask me that a lot, and I don't really have an answer. And I've seen a lot of people making videos like how long it takes me to knit a pair of socks, and I'm not doing it at all to make anyone feel like they're not fast enough, or, you know, I don't want to invite comparison. I'm just genuinely curious, how long does it take me? And as I said, this is a slightly thicker yarn, so it's probably a little faster than like a standard fingering weight yarn would be. But the first sock took me about 5 hours and 15 minutes to finish. And I was able to cast on the second sock last night while we were out running our errands. And I didn't get that far. There's like a yarn mess. Here's how far I got. I just cast on and knit like maybe half of the cuff. And there's a bunch of extra ends on this because I'm trying to knit them to match, and I was kind of having to manipulate the light brown here, the amount that I had. So that's why I have all these extra ends. But yeah, I'm hoping to maybe find some time to work on these on Christmas. This might be the project that I bring along. I was hoping to finish them by Christmas, but obviously it's not gonna happen. It's not the end of the world. I'm happy to have finished one. I think I will definitely finish them by the end of the year. And also it kind of makes me happy to know, like, if I really wanted to, I could sit down and knit the rest of this sock in like 5 hours. Not that I should or want to do that, but I could, and that's kind of good to know. So I'm confident I'll finish these before the end of the year. But yeah, I started the second one last night. The one crafty thing, well, I'll talk in my wrap-up episode about a couple different crafty plans I had for the month that I didn't get to. But one that I would still really like to get to is my mini sock garland. So throughout the year, the first like 6 months of this year, whenever I finished a pair of socks, I would knit a tiny sock to go like with the same yarn to like represent it. And they're really, really cute. I probably have like 20 some of them. Here's just one for an example. This is the Tiny Tree Sock pattern by Summer Lee. And I have a whole bunch of them, and I want to string these onto a garland, and I know it's only going to take me like 15 minutes to do this. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So I'm going to try and make that happen tonight or tomorrow morning. I really want to get this done this year because honestly, I think this is something I might leave up all year. It's not particularly Christmassy. And I think it's going to be so cute. Some of them I really put too much effort into. Like, look at this one. It matches one of the colorwork socks I knit for Troy. Yeah, there's so many in here. Okay, here's another little stripey one that had to be like stripe managed. Oh, yes, another one. They're really cute, but yeah, they were quite a bit of work. So here's a little fuzzy mohair guy. And you probably recognize some of these from the socks I've been gifting myself this month. Like I said, I only did the first half of the year, so I don't like have a little one to match these socks or the ones for tomorrow, but everything from the first half of the year, I pretty much have a little sock friend for. Even the DK ones, I kind of adapted my own version of the DK pattern. So I would really like to get these turned into a cute little sock garland. Like I said, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. And last but not least, I got a little happy mail. So in the last episode, I was talking about the Wandering Flock Sock Club, which was one of the clubs that I was in this year. This was my first year trying any of these like monthly or quarterly clubs, and that one was quarterly. But the other one I was in was Kira Wiggins Fiber Club, and I have really enjoyed this one. And I got my latest bat last night in the mail, and I have to say, I think it's one of my favorites of the whole thing so far. It's so pretty. I hope you can see the shimmer and the color. It's like a beautiful light blue. It's got some black and neutral tweedy bits, and then it has shimmer. So the color is called Kitchen Sink Polar Drift. And it says that it is mostly Shetland, some alpaca, Polworth, silk, yak, viscose, and who knows what else. And this is a 50-gram bat, and I love this color. I think it is gorgeous. All year I have spun each of these just into their own little 50-gram skein, and I'm just keeping them all together right now. There's definitely, my plan is to use them all in a garment project next year, but there are a couple that I don't think I will include in the garment project. September's was like a really dark, rich green, and October's was like a kind of similar to this color, but a little bit lighter and a little bit more yellow with like really bright tweedy flecks in it. And they're both very beautiful, but neither I think particularly go with the rest of the colors or are colors that I wear a lot of. So I think I might use those two together for a different project on their own. And I should still have plenty of yarn because I will still have 500 grams of yarn if I don't include those two. And I think it's about a sport weight yarn is what that's kind of my default yarn. So yes, love this. I don't think we have too many more. We maybe only have like one or two more in the club. And as much as I've enjoyed this one, I was saying I'm not gonna renew the Wandering Flock Sock Club. And I talked more about that on the last video, but I'm also probably not gonna renew this one, even though I will say on the whole, I enjoyed this one more. Like, I don't want to compare because the two are very different, but I really looked forward to getting this package every month. And on the whole, out of the colors I've received so far, there were only a couple that weren't like colors I would typically gravitate towards. I just think the like club model is maybe not for me. Because I just have a lot of great things already that I want and need to work with. And just to have stuff coming in every month and for it not to necessarily be something that you know you're gonna love, I just don't know if I need that. I just don't know if that's for me. So yeah, I'm really glad I tried it this year. I really did enjoy both clubs, but I think maybe the club model is just not for me. So good to have learned that. Okay, like it's probably about 4:30 now, and I do have some other stuff to get done today. So I need to do a little bit of cooking, prep for tomorrow. We're doing like a potluck style dinner with the family. So we are making a bean dish with Christmas lima beans. That's what they're called, but they're like huge lima beans, and the color of them is like burgundy and white, and they're really pretty. And then we are making those in a gorgonzola cream sauce. So it's like mushrooms and onions and gorgonzola cream, and then it all gets mixed together with some parsley on top. It's really, really good. And then I, spur of the moment at the grocery store last night, decided to get a big bag of Brussels sprouts because they looked super good. And I am gonna also make some Brussels sprouts. So I make those roasted with an almond butter sriracha sauce with some like sesame seeds. It's really good as well. But my plan is to make the beans tonight. I've already cooked the beans, and I just need to kind of finish that dish. And then I might prep the Brussels sprouts tonight, and then I'll probably cook them tomorrow. And I also need to wrap presents. I need to wrap my presents. So even though all I want to do is sit around and knit on my Wildflower pullover, I really need to wrap gifts. So I might try and do some of that tonight and maybe a little bit tomorrow as well. And then tomorrow's Christmas Eve. So I'm sure it'll be a busy morning, finishing up projects, casting on my jaunty shawl. Maybe I need to get all my wrapping done tonight because I'm not gonna want to do it tomorrow. And then Christmas Day. So I won't be recording never say never, but in the past, I have not recorded a check-in on Christmas Day. So it's likely that I will not, but I'll make sure to get some footage from that day for you guys. And then, like I said, I'll be back with one more wrap-up video, probably anywhere from the 26th to the 29th. I'm not exactly sure when that's going to be coming, but somewhere in that period. And this video will come out on the 26th, which I don't need to tell you because you're just going to see it then. So I'm rambling now. I will wrap this up. I am going to go do some cooking and do some wrapping, and I'll bring you along with me. Hello and happy Christmas Eve. It is Wednesday, December 24th. It's about 3:30 p.m. and I've been frantically trying to finish up my Advent projects this morning. I took a little break to get ready for the day. I took a little break to make the Brussels sprouts dish I was planning to make, but my Brussels sprouts weren't very good. So I kind of scrapped that. And I've just been knitting most of the morning and hanging out, and we are getting ready to leave to go see our family soon. We're going to be having eat a dinner, like a chill, casual night. We'll probably play some games. We don't tend to do a lot of gifts on Christmas Eve. Troy and I might do gifts with each other later, but we'll see. So let me show you the final day of Advent things, which is sad. I'm sad that it's coming to an end, but these are the most exciting days. So let's do the final lip balm Advent, day 12. Let's see what we've got. Gingerbread. How perfect is that? Here's the little character, very cute. Look at the little shoes, the little bears, adorable. I gotta smell that one. Oh yeah, that one's really good. The final days of my Scrappy Advent with Jess, she actually sent me day 24 and 25. So I'm gonna go ahead and open both now since I may or may not have a chance to check in tomorrow. I'm gonna try and do a final check-in and I'll explain why in a minute, but just in case I don't, I definitely won't have time to do one in the morning. So day 24 was this really pretty color. And then day 25 was a couple extra cute little colors. And she says these were the Kinetic Knitter, I'm guessing Watermelon is this one. And Olan, she didn't know the color name, but both are really pretty. So thank you, Jess. And then in day 25, she had included another little treat from Trader Joe's, some little toffee bites. So thank you very much, Jess. I really enjoyed this Scrappy Advent, just having something fun and small to open every day. And I'm excited to knit Scrappy sweaters in January together. All right, I'm gifting myself the final pair of socks today, the ones I finished most recently. And those were these crazy color blocked guys from Summerlee's book, The Sock Project. So there is a nice all over texture on the foot and then just some really fun kind of wacky color blocking. So I really like these ones. I really liked this knit pearl texture on the foot. I think I might do that again sometime. And very excitingly, I finished my Advent socks. So you all voted on the final color. We went with the green, but it was very close between the green and the light gray for this one. Like by one vote, the green won. So here they are. All done. I love them so much. So this morning, this was a lot of what I worked on. I added the final stripe and the cuff on each little 1x1 cuff. Sorry, the color is getting a little blown out. And then I did a sewn bind off on these And I'm so pleased with them. I think this was super fun. I know a lot of you messaged me on Instagram that you were loving voting and you want to do it again. So I think we'll do it again sometime before next holiday. It was so much fun. So thank you if you participated. I will definitely plan to do this again next year. I'm glad that you all enjoyed it as much as I did. And I think the resulting socks are very, very cute. So yeah, I love them. Thank you for voting and helping me make those. Okay, the Wildflower pullover. The body is not done yet, but I'm so close and it's gonna be impossible for me to show this to you right now. But here's the update. So I finished this morning, I finished the front body portion. So last check-in, we had added the second steek that was kind of like to finish the front panels. We ended up with a steek here and one on the back so we could knit this part in the round. So I finished that. Then I had to cut all the steeks. So hopefully you saw some footage of me. I did machine sewn reinforcement, and I did 2 lines of stitched reinforcement on each side of the steek. There were 4 steeks. So everywhere we had a steek, I had 2 lines of machine sewn stitches on each side before I cut. And even then, being so careful, there's one place where I still need to go back in and like reinforce it a little bit more. I found that right at the top, there was like one little strand that slipped out. So yeah, I was super careful about that. I think for the most part, it's gonna be just fine, but the steeks they're just really small. But I can show you one here. Here was one of the armhole steeks. So you can see on the inside, there's my little lines of stitching there. So yeah, I did that and no hesitation, and I just like went for it. And then now I've been working on the back panel, which is knit flat. So there's 12 rows of flat knitting on the back panel, and I finished 4. So I have 8 more rows to go on the body, and then I have to seam the shoulders together. And I still want to get that done before the end of Vlogmas. So I'm bringing it with me in the car today. I'm gonna work on it later tonight. I'm hoping to show you the finished body tomorrow. That is still my goal. So, and like I said, it's very hard to show you now, but I can maybe hold it like upside down just because there's lots of bits hanging off of it. So this is the bottom, but you can see here we have a regular looking neck opening now. And then the armholes are now open, and I am working on the back panel. So you can see I've started to bind off here. So these rows we're gonna get down to only like 40 some stitches. So it's gonna go faster. I only have 8 rows left. I'm so close. But it is flat. So those purl rows definitely take me a little bit longer. They're a little bit slower, but thankfully it's not that many stitches. So I am really hoping to be able to show you the finished body by the end of this video. I'm determined. So yeah, and then it's just the neck band and the sleeves after that. I definitely did not have time to cast on the jaunty today. So my hand spun jaunty. I think I want to try and finish the Wildflower body first, so I'm going to work on that the rest of today. Hopefully I can finish it by the end of today. And then tomorrow, I think we'll get home early-ish in the evening, and my plan would be then to cast on the jaunty tomorrow night and just have a really relaxed evening. So I'm hoping to do a final check-in maybe tomorrow evening. It'll be really quick. I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna do that because I wanna be able to show you the body of the finished Wildflower pullover. So no matter how late that is tomorrow, I'm gonna do a quick check-in and I'll say my final goodbyes then. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm gonna be very pleased if I am able to get the body of this done, especially since it ended up being a little bit more work than I was expecting right at the end. So yes, let's get going to the family event. Hopefully it'll be a really nice evening. I'm bringing this with me to work on. And yeah, I will try and check in with you tomorrow, but I'm sure you'll see all the Christmas festivities before that happens. So let's go do the fun part of the holidays and do all the Christmassy things. Good evening and Merry Christmas to those of you who celebrate. Happy holidays. It is Christmas Day. It is now 7 p.m. We've been out and about all day and I'm just popping on for a quick check-in because I have two things to show you and then I'm gonna wrap this vlog up. I am gonna have one more episode that'll probably just be a shorter chatty episode. I'm gonna talk what projects I worked on, which ones I had planned to, but maybe didn't get around to. I'll talk a little bit more in depth about the two things I'm about to show you, and then I'll show you some of the crafty goodies I got for Christmas today. You know, we're so fortunate. We got so many lovely gifts, and it was a really beautiful day with family, a lot of laughs, a lot of good times. It was a really, really wonderful day, so I hope that you had a wonderful holiday as well. I am very tired. I am very much looking forward to having a big bowl of popcorn tonight, watching Stranger Things and knitting and relaxing. The final video I'm gonna record will probably come out at some point in the next couple days. I'm not in like a big hurry, but I do want to publish like a little wrap-up episode. But tonight I hopped on so I could show you I finished the body of the Wildflower pullover. I stayed up way too late last night doing this. I stayed up until like 1 a.m. and then I couldn't sleep. And then I slept through my alarm this morning. So we had a bit of a chaotic start. And like I said, I'll try this on for you and talk in a lot more detail on my wrap-up episode, but I just wanted to show you she's done. And I could not be happier. I'm so pleased. Cutting the steeks, that was pretty intense. But then last night what I had to finish was the flat knit portion on the back, which was just this last partial motif here. You can see it starts here and then worked out. And then I had to seam, which the seam is right here. So you get a full row of the motif on the front and then you get this partial row on the back. I think the fade is so seamless. I think it looks fantastic. This Viper Fox Advent was just top notch. And I really can't wait to add the neckline and the sleeves. So I'll be working on that over the next couple of days to a week. I mean, I don't know, it's gonna take me longer than that to finish it, but I am gonna start working on that right away. I gave it a little bit of a steam block last night just to see what it's looking like, but yeah, I can't wait to try it on for you in the wrap-up video. I haven't tried it on myself yet, so I'm very excited, but I just wanted to show you we achieved the goal. The body is done, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty impressed with myself. I did not think that I was gonna get this done, and I feel proud. I'm very proud of this one. I think, yeah, I just can't wait to finish it and see the whole thing come together. I don't know if I'll ever be able to top this as an Advent project. I think next year I'll probably go back to a DK weight something it's a little bit more realistic. 6 rows a day doesn't seem like too much, but when it's fingering weight color work, it takes a long time. There were over 400 stitches in the body on this. So again, I'll go into more detail. I'll try it on for you in the next video. And then very late last night, because again, couldn't sleep, I cast on my jaunty shawl using my Handspun. And I am obsessed with this. It's so fun. It's knitting up so quickly. Again, I'll share all the details in my next episode, but I just wanted to show you real quick. Look how fun it is. Oh, the Handspun in this pattern is just match made in heaven. I've barely worked on it, and this is how much I have already. I feel like it's gonna fly off the needles. I can already tell I'm gonna wanna make more with some stash yarn that I have. I think a scrappy one would be incredible. So loving it so far. Is that the front? Yes. I thought I was showing you the back for a second. But yeah, I think the Handspun is gonna be so pretty in this. So again, I'll share more about specifics of what I'm doing, but just wanted to show you those last couple updates and just close out this video and say thank you so much for watching. Whether you decide to watch the wrap-up video or not, I just want to thank you for coming along on this Vlogmas journey with me. It's really been so fun. It's fun every year, but this year felt a little extra special. I don't know why. I really loved all of my projects this year. I think, you know, especially the Advent socks that you all voted on, that was really fun. It was just a great collaboration. I really loved it. I'm definitely going to do it again next year. So many of you sent me really sweet messages that you loved voting every day, or, you know, just that had been fun for you to participate in a way to like get involved. So I loved that. And yeah, I just want to thank you. Thank you for being here at my channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. And I hope that you had a really wonderful holiday season. I'm looking forward to doing it again next year. So thank you for watching. I will see you on the wrap-up episode. And if not, I will see you on the next podcast or whenever you choose to come back. But I will see you then. Thank you for watching. Bye.